So recently I did a poll asking people if they wanted me to share about my biggest investing mistakes. And yeah, over 80% said yes, including my mom. So I guess I'm never gonna live this down. Not one, not two, but 5 of them. And they cost me thousands. But they also taught me exactly what to avoid and how to build wealth smarter. Gosh, if you're new to investing or trying to grow without the stress, this one's for you. This isn't like a brag post. Believe it or not, I'm actually pretty bad at investing. I've made a lot of dumb mistakes, so I sold. And that was the day it went up 500%. Talk about being at the top of the mountain. Mistake no. 1. Trying to time the market. Back in 2018, I was looking at this chart. When it's all over the news or social media, the easy money has already been made. Everyone's talking about it and hyping each other up. But they're not sharing the losses. Instead, stick to what you understand. I could have lost a lot more money there. So that was a tough lesson about patience and resisting FOMO. But thankfully, it wasn't life-changing money. A study by JP Morgan showed that even someone who had perfect market timing, basically calling market bottoms and tops consistently, only earned 5.7% annual returns. I once had a financial advisor set up these mutual funds for me. I thought, whoa, that's crazy. Where else can I get that kind of return? When a company struggles to make a profit, it'll often cut its dividend. Before chasing high yields, look at the payout ratio, cash flow, and overall health of the business. A reliable, stable dividend is way better than a flashy high yield that can disappear anytime. So focus on reliable companies with a track record of paying dividends. Also, try to avoid speculative industries. Those can have a lot of volatility and uncertainty, which can affect dividend payments. And if it did, please give it a like. It helps others find this video and learn too. Thanks for watching. Unfortunately, that was a terrible decision because a month later, Best Buy slashed their dividend by 60% and the stock price fell 40%. It's how you learn and adapt. The important thing is to learn from them and keep moving forward. At the time, I didn't know any better. I thought he was looking out for me. Plus, he seemed trustworthy. I trusted him. Since I realized the importance of the basics, I changed my approach to investing. Now I keep it simple. They were pumping up stocks like AMC and GameStop, was making huge moves. To make matters worse, another fund had a 0.25% fee. These fees alone wiped out most of my gains. I don't know why I didn't look into this earlier. This lets me spread my money across many companies and markets. Second, I have a long-term horizon. I'm not worried about short-term ups and downs. I know the market goes up over time. Third, I contribute automatically. This helps me stay disciplined and avoid emotional decisions. Fourth, I reinvest my dividends to let compounding work its magic. Finally, I keep it simple and avoid hype. No fancy strategies or get-rich-quick schemes, just steady, reliable growth. And I thought, maybe I should join in. So I bought some shares. Over the past few years, I built a solid portfolio that keeps growing steadily. Remember, building wealth takes time and patience. There are no shortcuts. So focus on the fundamentals, stay consistent, and you'll get there. A 1% fee doesn't seem like much, but over 20 years, that same fund with a 0.05% fee will have grown by around $33,000 more. It makes a big difference. Most index funds and ETFs are low cost, and that's the way to go. Soon after, I saw posts saying the stock could go to $1,000 a share. I thought it was like a little bonus, and it felt good. However, I wasn't really doing anything with that cash. It just sat there. That's when the FOMO kicked in. I dumped more money into it, then more, and then more. Over 10 years, you might have doubled your money once, twice, maybe even 3x your money. So when you reinvest dividends, you're essentially getting paid to buy more shares. For example, let us say you buy 100 shares of Company X, and it pays a $1 dividend every year. After 1 year, you'll get $100 in dividends. If you reinvest them, you can buy an extra 1 share of Company X, then the following year. You'll earn $11 in dividends, and you'll be able to buy even more shares. Eventually, you'll own hundreds of shares and collect lots of dividends. All thanks to the power of compounding. So always choose to reinvest your dividends. It's way better than having cash sitting in your account. Now, I could have turned that little bonus into even more money. That's because if you reinvest dividends, your shares multiply faster. That's less than the average return of the S&P 500 since 1928. Warren Buffett has famously said, "The stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient." So had I been invested through the dips and kept buying as planned, I would have 3x the returns. Timing is great if you have inside information. But if you're just guessing, you're likely to get burnt. The stock market was going up, but I was convinced it was about to crash. So I pulled out my money and waited. 2 months later, the market hit an all-time high. I thought, what luck. I dodged a bullet, but then I missed the next 3 years of gains. Same thing happened when I sold my Dogecoin in early 2018, right before its big pump. What do I have to do to make these things right? Lesson learned. Time in the market beats time trying to time the market. Mistake number 2, FOMO buying. In 2020, I started seeing everyone talking about Wall Street bets on Reddit. Then one day, I opened up the app and the stock had dropped 60%. I was scared. I thought, what if it drops to 0? Lesson learned. Don't let headlines or FOMO drive your decisions. Mistake number 3, ignoring fees that ate my returns. But years later, I realized that each fund had a 1.75% fee. Lesson learned. Always ask about expense ratios. Mistake number 4, not reinvesting my dividends. Early on, I took my dividend payments as cash. Looking back, I should have left those payouts in the markets. Lesson learned. Always turn on dividend reinvestment or DRIP. Let compounding work for you. Mistake number 5, chasing high yields. One day I was scrolling through Stock Screener and came across a stock called Best Buy. It had a dividend yield of 10.75%. Lesson learned. High dividend yields aren't always good. Sometimes they're a warning sign that a company isn't doing well. At the end of the day, mistakes are part of the journey, especially when it comes to investing. What I do differently now? First, I invest in low-cost index funds. It's not exciting, but it works. Before you go, check out the description for a checklist of all the mistakes we talked about. It's totally free. Hopefully this video gave you some valuable insights.